going to take a big bite. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As you can see, dipped in the sauce, but the chicken is very hot. As you can see, it's still steaming hot, very, very hot. I can't wait to taste it. Bismillah. I've got 800 grams of chicken cubes, boneless chicken cubes. I've cut them in small sizes around 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. With the salt, I'm going to add 5 teaspoons of garlic and ginger paste. It has to be quite smooth, no bits. With garlic and ginger paste, I'm going to add yogurt and vinegar, which I've mixed together in the cup, as you can see, which is 1 tablespoon of vinegar with 2 tablespoons of yogurt. And then we mix this marinade, mix the chicken cubes properly. And yes, I forgot to add lime. I have half a lime, which I'm going to add, which is around 2 tablespoons. So mix well. This is our first stage of the marinade. We need to make sure it's mixed well and set aside for around 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, we move to our second step, which is spices. Second step would be adding spices. I've got 1 teaspoon of chicken tikka masala, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, a pinch of food color, which is orange color, a teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1.5 teaspoon of tandoori masala. Any brand can be used. I'm using Kashmiri chili powder. You can use any chili powder and any brand of tikka masala as well. Once you've added the spices, give it a very good mix. And once the spices are mixed, you set it aside for at least 20 minutes. I'm going to make the dough. I have 2.5 cups of wholemeal flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, some oil, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, and some water. Mix until you've got the right consistency of the dough. We don't want it to be too sticky and not too hard, not too soft. Once you've got that consistency, set it aside for at least 20 minutes. I'm going to set it aside for an hour, and then we will make the rotis. I've marinated the chicken cubes for about an hour. You can marinate chicken for less than an hour, honestly, if you are in a hurry. 20 minutes is doable. I'm going to cook the chicken cubes in 2 tablespoons of oil and 3 cubes of butter. It's nice to add a hint of butter because it's butter chicken, so it makes sense to add some butter to it. I'm not going to put lid on the handi. It's nice to let the chicken cook in its own water, and we don't want too much water to be released since we want like dried chicken tikka style pieces. So leave the lid off and cook the chicken like that. I think it will take around 15 to 18 minutes for the chicken to fully cook. So just keep an eye. I'm going to stay closer to the handi and keep watching. And the water is slowly being dried. And when the chicken starts changing color, that's when we know the chicken is starting to cook. So that's the color that I was hoping to see. And this is just the right color that I was expecting. Now the chicken is changing its color. The water is almost being dried. We've got like 20% water left in the pot, which is excellent. I was expecting cooking time to be around 18 minutes, but it was actually far quicker than that. I did not expect for wood burner to do its magic. Actually, it's quite fast. Within 10 to 11 minutes, we've got to the stage where the water is being dried. Chicken is almost cooked, so it's just going to take a few more seconds for this water to dry up. I'm going to stay close because I don't want chicken pieces to be overcooked. We want chicken pieces to be moist, soft, and just the right consistency. So let's give it a few more seconds, and then I'm going to take the chicken pieces out because we are going to do our next step of cooking, which will be the gravy that we will be making. Because it's a one pot dish, we will be making the gravy in the same pot. So I'm gonna take the chicken pieces out, and then I'm gonna prepare the gravy in the same pot. The chicken is ready to be taken out. I'm going to take the chicken pieces out, and then we will move on to next step: chopping onions, tomatoes, rest of the ingredients, add everything to the gravy, and I will show you what's next. I'm using 2 medium-sized onions for this butter chicken. I'm going to cut them in medium slices. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil and 3 cubes of butter in our clay pot, and then just lightly saute onions in the oil and butter. We're not going to change the color of onions at all. So just cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's all we want, until onions are softened. That's what we're trying to do. I will be using 6 tomatoes for this recipe because we do want that tangy flavor in butter chicken, and we get that from lots of tomatoes. For 800 grams of chicken, I will be using 6 tomatoes cut in big chunks. You don't have to cut them in small pieces. I'm going to add tomatoes to the onions and now cook this together for about another 2 to 3 minutes. The heat is pretty high, quite intense. We want tomatoes to release its water, and then tomatoes will cook in its water, and it'll start to look a bit mushy, and that's what we want. As you can see, tomatoes and onions cooking together. I'm adding 50 grams of cashews and some dried spices. You can see the quantity on the screen. So I've got half an inch stick of cinnamon, I've got black cardamom, I've got 3 green cardamoms, I've got 3 cloves, and I've got 4 whole black peppers and 2 bay leaves, and I've got some bay leaves, cumin. So I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of that cumin, and I'm going to add the dried spices. I've got some red chili, which I'm going to add. 1.5 teaspoons of garam masala. Get our ginger garlic paste. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 and 1 teaspoon of white sugar, and I've got some vinegar. That's how it looks. I've added I'm going to give it a good mix, and I'm going to cook everything. So the tomatoes are melted. We just want that velvety, soft texture from tomatoes with the sugar, and we've got some vinegar, which will enhance the sourness in the tomatoes. Sugar will add a bit of sweetness. So that's all going to be cooked. We're going to cook it for about 10 minutes. We just want tomatoes to become a bit mushy. At this point, if you like, you can add some green chilies as well. And now I'm going to add some salt. Salt to the taste, but I'm going to add 1 in this. Some water. Let's add that, and then I'm going to give it a mix. Curry sauce has now been cooking for around 10 to 12 minutes, and as I lifted the lid of the handi, the smell is insanely yummy. I'm sure the neighbors can smell it as well. It smells delicious. This is the right consistency, right texture that we wanted. So I'm going to blend it together. Add salt and the chili. If you want to add more chilies, absolutely do add at this point. Butter chicken is a 1-pot dish. which means that you can carry out all the steps of the dish in one pot, which is what I have done. So chicken tikka masala has been put away. That's what we made before. And now I've blended the curry paste. I had to let it set for a few minutes because it was steaming hot. Once it's been set, you just blend this paste into smooth, velvety, soft, nutty, smells delicious. This yummy paste that we need. We don't want any bits in it. We don't want any seeds in it. We don't want any bits of the whole masala that we used earlier. Now I'm going to add dried methi leaves, which is fenugreek leaves, and I'm going to add it to our nutty, yummy, delicious, velvety, smooth curry paste. It will give it a really nice aroma. Methi leaves is basically the traditional way to get that aroma in the butter chicken that we want. And if you can smell through the TV, oh my God, it's insanely yummy smell. I'm going to cook it for about 8 to 10 minutes because we want the curry paste to thicken slightly, because right now it's a bit too watery. I had to add water in the mixture to get that liquidy texture for it to go through the sieve. Chicken tikka cubes are ready to be added. Our delicious, smooth, velvety, yummy butter chicken sauce. Sauce is ready, sizzling away. Let's add chicken tikka cubes to the sauce. This curry smells so nice. One of my neighbors actually came and asked me what I was cooking because she said she can smell lovely food smell. And I told her that I was making butter chicken and I'm going to give her some to taste. But, you know, when you're cooking something yourself and you can't smell, you can't tell how good the smell is, and other people come and tell you. So I was really happy with that. Because this chicken tikka pieces was cooked separately from the curry sauce, we now have to mix it and cook it together so it can complement each other. That's what I'm trying to do. I've got this on medium heat, not too much heat, and I'm going to add some double cream to it and a few cubes of butter, and let it cook on medium heat for a few minutes, because we want this curry paste to become a little bit thickened. It's a bit more watery at the moment. So we want to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 12 minutes, depends how high the heat is. I was going to make the rotis outside, but it started to rain, so I had to shift the pan inside and finish off rotis inside in my kitchen. This whole video had to be on voiceover because I made a silly mistake and the transmitter of the mic was not switched on. So I thought that everything was being recorded, but it wasn't, and I was very gutted. Never mind, I was actually just talking about butter chicken, a bit of background, and that the butter chicken originally was invented in New Delhi in 1947 after the partition, when one of the restaurant owners had some chicken tikka pieces leftovers, and he had some tomato sauce was left over, so he didn't want to waste it, and he put it all together and made it into like really creamy sauce, and it was really, really popular. So that's how the dish was invented. This is such a fun thing for me, cooking outdoors on the wood burner in the clay pots. I really enjoy this, and I thought it would be a nice idea to share it with people who are in like-minded, who enjoy this kind of thing. And surprisingly, the dishes that you cook in the clay pots over compared to gas burners, taste so delicious. The wood burner taste is different from normal cooking, and it's insanely yummy. This is the moment of truth after all that hard work. Cooking on the wood burner, the no gas cooking wood burner in the clay pot, outside cooking, outdoor cooking, butter chicken, makhni murg. Let's taste it.
going to take a big bite. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As you can see, dipped in the sauce, but the chicken is very hot. As you can see, it's still steaming hot, very, very hot. I can't wait to taste it. Bismillah. So hot, I couldn't resist. This is best butter chicken ever. So delicious, so nice. Must try at home. Bismillah. Bismillah. This butter chicken for 4 people cost me under £10 to make. Any finest cuisine, any fine dinners, anything that you pay in the most expensive restaurants in anywhere in the world, you cannot beat the taste of the wood burner outdoor cooking in the clay pot. For 4 people, under £10, absolutely fantastic, out of the world meal.